All right, let's talk about Bo Nix, who, listen, the Broncos won the football game. Their defense played fantastic. But for winning teams, I do think a lot of people were maybe underwhelmed by Denver's performance. We were talking about Denver as a potential, like, could they be a dark horse Super Bowl team? And Bo Nix ends up under 5 yards per attempt. He had just 176 yards on 40 attempts, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, also had a fumble in there. Well, let's get into it. First off, he did have some nice plays. He did. Like this one, this is the classic Bo Nix play action rollout toward the bottom of the screen, have a receiver running over the middle. Watch as when Bo Nix runs this play, you see there is a window for him to make this throw, although he is running across his body. Sean Payton, part of why he likes Bo Nix so much is, well, he, obviously very much enjoyed Drew Brees when they had that partnership. Brees was definitely a pocket passer. Bo Nix, you can move around a little bit, which opens up the playbook a little bit. Watch Nix be able to kind of set his feet, make a really nice throw. Sean Payton loves that about Bo Nix, and Bo Nix is very effective at doing that stuff. From a play-in, play-out basis, I don't think Bo Nix was bad at this kind of thing. This play as well, another really good one. It's going to be a 2nd down and 8. It's man coverage. You see the route going more over the middle. That is where Nix is going to look, but let's actually put a pin in that right now. Nix takes the snap, and as of right here, he actually notices that there's a potential way for him to run with the football. And given that this is man coverage, maybe that's not a horrible idea, although there is a player over the middle who is watching him, so probably not going to be able to rush for much. But Nix, when he steps up in the pocket, then keeps his eyes downfield, makes a really accurate throw down the field, and they're able to pick up a nice completion there. So, again, Bo Nix, his athleticism and his ability to make difficult throws was definitely shown in this game. Like, there were plenty of positives. The issue with Bo Nix is if you're going to be a game manager, you can't turn the ball over. And, game manager is not a derogatory term, but you have to make sure you protect the football if that is your play style. And he didn't in this game. So, okay, what went wrong in these turnovers? Well, first, this is a 2nd and 18. They're at their own 24-yard line. So, to be honest, taking an extra chance here isn't the worst idea in the world. It's a drive that probably isn't going to amount to too much. So, well, you don't want to turn the ball over because of field position and everything. The math changes. It's not quite as big of a deal if you turn the ball over as it would be if it was a 2nd down and 4, right? Anyway, Nix takes the snap. This is a design rollout. It's a bit of a weird one because there's no play action, but that's what it was. He does see a receiver open down the field, but you're just throwing completely, running across your body right here. Unlike the play I showed earlier where he had time to set his feet, this time he does not. And because of that, he just doesn't get enough on this throw to make it. You can make this throw, but you really want to throw a line drive if you make it. Instead, you see that it ends up getting intercepted. Really good defensive play, and that still could have been a completion. Hey, throwing one up to Courtland Sutton, not the worst idea in the world, but honestly, the defensive back did have a better shot at that than Sutton did. It's not a great play there. It's just not a great play by Bo Nix. This one was kind of a weird one, 2nd down and 4. This is later on in the game, and again, defenses are playing great right here. You've held the Titans to just 9 points, and 3 of those were due to a kickoff return, really. So, you're doing good right now defensively. You see this route going over the middle. Nix is going to take the snap. He, again, designed move towards the top of the screen, ends up throwing all the way down towards the bottom of the screen. So a tough angle. There are multiple defenders in the area. I honestly wonder if he just didn't see 25 for Tennessee, the guy closest towards the bottom of the screen. But you really have to make a pinpoint accurate throw for this to be complete, and it just isn't. Slightly off. Maybe you could have had a diving attempt at that one. I wouldn't have hated to see that, but that's just not a smart decision regardless. You're throwing it through such a tight window across your body, like it's not across your body, but across the field. There's a reason why coaches will tell you not to do that, because it can dangerous stuff can happen. I know it's the NFL and guys do things that coaches in high school will tell you not to do, but still, there is a reason why that's a rule. Also, this play, 2nd down and 9. Again, the X's and O's on this play are less important, really, because Nix is going to take the snap. He runs the play action, but the running back went on the opposite side of the field up to where he was, so never want to do that. Not ideal there, but ultimately, you're in this spot, looking down the field, doesn't love what he sees, going to decide to run. Hey, no issue. Want to run? You're a good runner. Like, use that to your advantage. All of that makes total sense. But you do want to ideally not make this mistake. Watch as he runs one hand on the football. Or I think he actually did put his second one on kind of later, but like he wasn't securing the football. He was very much looking like he was ready to pass in any moment. He did not have that one secure. If the left hand was on it, it was simply just for balance. It wasn't like he was like gripping it tightly with both hands. And because of that, it kind of easily came out when there was contact. You got to protect the football. If you're not ready to throw the football, you have to have it secure like you're a running back. You have to have two hands on the ball or have it tucked. That's just the situation. In practice, the guys will do it where one of a technique they'll have is you grab the football and people will hit the football to try and knock it out. That's a drill people run to try and make sure you have it strong there. And again, Nix can do it, but he just didn't have the ball secure. Ends up as a fumble when it didn't have to be. Also, just some wonkiness, some week one wonkiness, right? Guys I don't care if you have played together before even, there's just going to be always some of this where this is 3rd down and 3, eventually against some coverage, eventually they're going to try and hit their halfback. Bo Nix is going to take the snap right here. He flips it to his running back and it just, not able to haul that one in. So, again, what happened there was just they weren't on the same page. Running back wasn't quite ready for it when the ball came out. Had they been ready for it, then things are going to work better. That's probably a completion. I believe that's J.K. Dobbins, if I'm reading the number correctly there. It might have been Tyler Body, a little bit hard to see. But regardless, again, these are just the things you have to work on and have to get down. Like, heading over here, though, I want to be clear. This was not a horrible performance from Bo Nix. On this play, it's going to be a one-on-one matchup down the field to Courtland Sutton. Kind of what happened was the Titans, for some reason, decided to not run the clock out inside their own 10 with under a minute left. They decided to try for something, and then they didn't convert. Broncos get an opportunity. Nix would take advantage. Watch as when this play begins. Really well-ran route by Courtland Sutton. Beautiful throw from Nix. You still saw that, right? Nix is still Bo Nix. He turned the ball over too much. That was the main issue. Like, other than that, I'm not horrified by this performance. Yes, the numbers weren't great. The Titans had a lot of plays that were just kind of covered up, and there wasn't a lot Nix could do, and then some week one wonkiness, and then you have some turnovers in there, and that leads for a bad offensive performance. Luckily, your defense is awesome, and they were still able to get the win. This play was another really good one by Bo Nix to scramble out and make some plays happen that way. Used his legs effectively a couple of times in this game. Only 18 yards on 8 carries. You'd like a little bit more, but he showed a little bit of flashes here. So ultimately, it was not an ideal game by Bo Nix. It's week 1. No need to panic just yet, right? Like, week 1, there's going to be some bad games week 1. It's going to happen. It's okay. But ultimately, I think those are most of my thoughts on Bo Nix. Not the worst game we've seen or anything like that, but gotta protect the football because yes, it didn't hurt you against the Titans. You have to assume if you do that against the Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Chargers or even the Indianapolis Colts next week, it might create issues. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.